video is going to review what we went over today, August 29th, classifying numbers. So we're looking at real numbers. All of the numbers that you'll see in this class are real numbers. We're going to split that into two categories. We made it foldable today, showing you this. Those two categories are rational and irrational numbers. Under rational numbers, we have natural numbers, we also have whole numbers, and integers. Besides those, there are some numbers that are rational that don't fall into these categories. Natural numbers, coming back up here, are your counting numbers. When you count things, you usually start with the number 1. You're not going to count rocks. Let's say you have some rocks, and you want to know how many rocks do I have. You're not going to say I have 0 rocks, then 1, then 2. You're going to start with I have 1 rock. So natural numbers are numbers that start with 1, 2, 3, and go on. Whole numbers that start at 1. So when we get down to whole numbers, right here, this next arrow, these are going to be just like the counting numbers, but it's going to include 0. So natural numbers with 0. So these are going to be numbers like 0, 1, 2, 3. Integers are going to be all, I want to say whole, but not in terms of like this. Whole numbers, meaning there's no decimals, no fractions, but they're going to be positive and negative. So you're going to have negative 3, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, and so on. So these are still solid even numbers, no decimals, no fractions, that include 0, it includes positive numbers, and it includes negative numbers. Think of adding and subtracting integers is what we did yesterday, and then you can remember we worked with positives and negatives. Other rational numbers that can't go into these categories are things like maybe 3.2. This has a decimal, but it ends. It doesn't keep going on forever. It's just 3.2. Or let's say 3.333. This decimal keeps repeating. That is a rational number because it stays the same. So repeating decimal is rational. So those are all the categories that we're going to look for. Rational numbers. Now I'm going to talk about irrational numbers. In irrational numbers, the hardest part to differentiate that from rational numbers are going to be these decimals, like these down here. Rational numbers can have decimals, but they have to be these special cases that they end or that they repeat. If they don't end or repeat, then they're going to be irrational numbers. Numbers like pi, like pi, or square root of 11, or 2.6. See how this decimal does not repeat? upper end. That makes it irrational. And that's really it for rational and irrational numbers.